Hello there. It's hellishly windy today. I was up at 3 in the morning with a flat, shuddering in the wind, howling gale. Here on the south coast in Brighton, we're very open to the Atlantic. And the storms plough straight into us. I was looking on the windy website at the global weather patterns, and it's quite interesting to see the purple swirls of cloud between Antarctica and South America. Of course, that's Cape Horn, the legendary treacherous passage that sailors yearn to challenge themselves against. And the interesting thing is that on this image, what you're looking at is the wind, the atmosphere. But of course the narrowing of the passage is happening in the sea rather than affecting the air itself. But the purple vortices in the air show that although the air and the water are two separate bodies, two separate materials, there is a transmission between them, and as the water of the oceans are squeezed between these two land masses, the change in the seas also affects the second fluid above it, the atmosphere. And so, although they are two separate stops, two separate worlds, there is a transmission. As I've been talking about these last couple of weeks, it's become very interesting to me to attempt to express myself intellectually, a complete thought, and then try to move that thought into my feelings so that I become one, so that my feelings and my entire feeling body resonate with the emotional part of that same thought. As I said before, it's easy for me to work with the Catholic prayers. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Well, in fact, that's a bit too much. Let's just try one part. Our Father. And I see a great light high up, the source of everything that exists. And what does that feel like? Is there an emotion that can reflect that idea of the source of all that exists? And to feel it fully in my energy body, to resonate, to sound like a bell, like the Amen. In the way that human beings really need to evolve themselves. They need to be able to go into their feelings and make new things happen there. They cannot stay the same. Human beings do not need any more technology. They don't need any more words either, nor any more thoughts, but they do need to be able to use their feelings the way they use their thinking. and they cannot do that at the moment. For human beings, their feelings come and go and they have no control of them. They're like the wind. But their thoughts they can sometimes use. But thought on its own is an empty meal, and it gets tiring listening to people think and talk, and it's never going anywhere. And the philosophers of mankind have never gotten anywhere, and it's dry and tiring. It's tiring because nothing new is created, because there is no law of three. The law of three requires more than one channel. Thought plus feeling can do something, but thought on its own is ultimately painful. And the more I hear philosophers and thinkers and public commentators and even ancient commentators, I just recognize that human beings don't know anything at all. What do they know? Almost nothing. They're looking at this map from this website, Windy. The scale of the planet, I mean, if you could imagine one person standing on the tip of South America, how small it is, how small we are. Gurdjieff says that the organic life on this planet is like a film around this planet that receives the emanations of the cosmos, of the other planets, of the sun, of the starry world, the distant world, which is the small specks, the suns. If you take all the suns that you see at night as a whole, as a foam, as a distant foam, that's the starry world. In the same way, when your body is wet, when you come out of the shower, you feel the weather. You feel things because the water is between the solid and the air. It is something between the solid and the air, and it transmits. It's a conductor. And so you feel, when your body is wet, when you step out of the shower, you feel things that you don't normally feel. And that is what Gurdjieff suggests the organic life is on this planet. It helps the planet to feel things it wouldn't normally feel. It transmits to the planet emanations from the cosmos. Now this means something. This is living knowledge, dangerous knowledge, and what human beings normally say to themselves just doesn't mean anything. It's not going anywhere. I think that when people speak, it becomes, as they say in French, décoller. Décoller. It is immediately décoller. As soon as somebody utters a word, it is separate from them. And human beings live uttering words that are immediately separated from them, and they cannot travel with them. They cannot stay inside the identity. They cannot stay within their will. As soon as they do something, it is separated from them. We're like animals who have developed something that is quite small, and from this position we need to evolve so that when we speak or think, when we act, it does not separate from ourselves, but rather we are one with it. And when I speak, my feelings speak with it, and they remain together, not fragmented, so that my will, my body, my feelings, my thoughts remain intact and are the same. And then I express myself as a cosmos. One sound, one meaning. Human spirituality is quite primitive. It works, but I think the time is right, as it always is, to try and understand ourselves better. We need to. People live without really knowing themselves, and somewhere inside it hurts, and humanity hurts a lot, and they hurt each other out of frustration. They don't know what else to do since nobody is opening the door to them. It's not easy to evolve. And if we're going to survive as a people, we would need to evolve and do things that are not easy. We are made and we function in a certain way, and it's all just fine. There's no criticism. But if we are to complete and continue, it will not come easily, and it will not be so familiar. But we have to unify ourselves and discover ourselves, and not in cheap ways. The wind is rough, it's going straight through my bones even though I'm inside. But I quite like it. I feel the roar of existence.